This conference will now be recorded.
A very good evening to all of you present for the session. So, the previous session we had discussed about the tally wall password, how to create tally wall password, how to raise the security level for the company, and we had discussed about various reports, statements, and of course the application of various shortcut keys, functional keys, which can access our report in a better way, in a detailed way. So we'll continue for the reporting discussion because we have a lot to cover today, where we are going to learn some new concepts with regard to reporting. So please log into your company and let's begin the session. Yes. So in the previous session, we had discussed about tally word password and all that. Now in the display mode reports, we had discussed about trial balance, day book, cash flow, and fund flow. Yes, this was the first discussion we had done under display mode reports. We had also discussed with the account books and statement of accounts. And in statement of accounts, we have all the outstandings, that is payables and receivables. We have cost centers and we have the statistical data. Next, we have the inventory books, the most important section. If we go to the inventory books, okay, so we have the stock item, location summary. Now, if you go for the stock item summary, whatever stock items are being created in the Tally software, all of them would appear in the list of stock items. So if I just give as Whirlpool washing machines, okay, I press enter. Yes, so here I get the stock item monthly summary. So per month, any kind of sales, purchases, or transfers are being made. If we press enter on the same, yes, so we get a complete analysis of the stock movement. Yes, so from which party we have made a purchase, what is the quantity that has been purchased, Again, in case of any returns, purchase returns on a basis of debit note, all these things would appear. And here we also have where we have transferred the stock from one place of storage to another place of storage by using a stock journal voucher. And there was also a correction of stock where one particular washing machine was returned back because of damage, and for correcting that actual amount of stock that appeared in the location or in our go down, we had also passed a physical stock voucher. So totally, and here can you observe? Now we had a couple of washing machines to Mani Enterprises, yes? Now, out of five probably washing machines, two were returned and three were accepted. So that is what is being shown here. Yes. So bill pending is coming. As I told you earlier, see, a bill is not yet raised by our company in the name of Mani Enterprises. Okay, it is a delivery note voucher. So once a sales voucher is passed to record the sale of washing machines to Mani Enterprises, ultimately the sales bill pending will vanish. Okay, so since bill is not yet been raised, it will appear as sales bill pending. Now, if you come to the bottom, okay, so totally there were 12 washing machines. Out of 12, 9 are being moved out, either sold or either because of damage, the stock was minused. And as of now, we are having three washing machines. So three of 15,000 each. So total amount or total value of the stock is 45,000. That's 15,000 per piece. So there are three numbers of washing machines, and this is how we can check the closing of each of the stock items. So if we want to get a monthly report, we can also press F6. So if we press F6, we go back to the stock vouchers monthly report. So for the entire year, now as of now, it is showing as April. So April of this year to March of we can get monthly report also. Yes. So here if we press enter, we get the monthly report. At the top, you can see it is showing as 1st of April 21 to 30th of April 21. So as usual, the monthly report is being depicted here because dates can't be changed as of now, but in case if monthly report is required, it's F6. Okay. Next we have F7, that is show profit. So what is the profit percentage? Yes, so what profit we have earned? If you can observe here, there is 20.59% of profit that has been earned. So again, if you press enter on the same, it will give us the complete profit percentage. Yes. So here it is showing us 40% profit. We had made the sales to Robin Electronics. Yes. So profit percentage also can be depicted. Then we go for the basis of values. So in case we want to change the valuation method. Now as of now, stock valuation method is appearing by default. If you want to go for the FIFO method, that's first in first out, or the average cost method, or whichever the stock valuation method which is followed by the business, that valuation method can be chosen here. Okay. So we have zero price, zero cost, average cost as the normal or the usual method. Then we have FIFO, the LIFO, monthly average cost, and the standard price. Okay. Now here we have types of voucher entries. For the all vouchers has to be shown, like we have your purchase, debit notes, sales, stock journal, or you want only inward entries also it will show. So can you see here? Purchase, it is an inward, yes, it is a receipt of stock. In the same way, for a stock journal also, we are receiving the stock. One location receives, another location sends out the stock. Okay. Now, if we press Control H, that is change view option, we instantly get the stock query report. Yes. So here we have the option of show mode. So also the show inactive. So whichever report you want instantly for each of the stock items, you get a complete report. So here if I choose one, that is stock query, can you observe here? There's a complete blueprint of the movement of stock. So everything is depicted from whom purchased to whom sold, then items of the same category, and as of now, how many washing machines we're having and in which location. Here we have numbers also. Okay, right. Now, we press the escape key. Again, Control H if you press. And you see, if you want a daily report or a weekly report, so week wise, see, it's been easily depicted here. From 1st of April to 4th, 5th to 11th, 12th to 18th, 19th to 25th, 26th to 30th of April. Okay, this is how we get. Again, if we want a monthly summary, movement analysis, this is one. This is a movement analysis. Yes, it's most important. This is a movement analysis report. That is from where to where the stocks are being moved out. So suppose if there is a purchase of stock, it is movement, and if there is a sale of any of the stock items, it is movement outward. Okay, and if there is a transfer of stock from one location to another location, it is transfer inward, and we have a transfer outward. So we get the complete movement of stock inward, outward, or between the go downs in this item movement analysis report. Okay. So here, if we go and press Ctrl H, here we get the complete details. So whichever you want, daily breakup, sales bill pending. Yes, so for as I told for Mani Enterprises, the bill is not being generated, right? It is pending, so that will be depicted here. In case if there is a purchase bill pending, also it will appear here. Correct? Now here we don't have any purchase bills pending. All has been for all entries, purchase voucher has been generated. So as of now, nothing will appear. Okay. So like this, we get a complete detail. Now we go for the locations. Very interesting. In which location, which are the stock items that are being existing? Can you observe here? If I've chosen location one, here we have liquid fuel, that's petrol, and washing machines. So if I want much more in detail, I can just press Alt F1. Yes, so here I can easily view what is the total amount, what particular stock item we have. Okay. Now from here, if we press F4 again, if I want to swap from location 1 to location 2, yes, I can view. Again, if I press F4, location 3, yes. Again, I have main location, yes, like this. So you can keep on moving from one location to another location, and you can see which is the stock has been stored in which location. Now if we go to F6 in case, because here we have chosen main location. Suppose if you go for location 1 and if you press F6, also we get a location summary details, inwards, outwards. So it's a complete detail available. In case if you go for a profit, at what profit the petrol has been sold or washing machines has been sold, that will also be available. Okay. Like this, we also have the location summary. And then we have the stock group summary. Group wise, if you want details. Yes, we also have stock groups in addition to the accounting groups. The accounting groups, I've already told you that there are 28 predefined accounting groups in Tally. So this number holds very significant place. Okay, so there are 28 defined groups in Tally, two default ledgers in Tally. So groups appear by default. Accounting groups are created, appear by default. Okay, we can't delete them. We have only rights to alter some of the features or probably the name of the group, but we have no rights to delete these accounting groups. But when we talk about the stock groups, Tally does not create any kind of a stock group. As I've told you, couple of times that tally will have no idea what is the business of the user, right? What is the business requirement, in which business he is involved in, either in goods or in services, or in case of goods again, its nature, description, value. There is no idea about it. So henceforth, Tally will not create any default stock groups, but Tally will definitely create default accounting groups. Okay, so all these numbers you have to keep in mind. Okay, how default groups are there, default ledgers, default location, cost categories, etc. So whatever the default creations are there, please make a note of it. So now, group wise, if you want it stock category wise, now we had created stock categories, right? So under the category of electronic devices, what all we have. So if I press Alt F1, I can also get the location details. Now Dell computers, they are in two locations, location 2 and location 3. Logitech printers, they are in location 3, like that. So if I talk about home stationery, okay, we have actual pens and ledger books. Again, there also we have in location 3 and in location 2. So if we press enter here, again we get a complete detail. Next, we have the delivery note register. Yes, we had passed delivery note for Mane Enterprises. Yes, so the complete detail will appear here. For whom the delivered to Mane Enterprises. So here, if we press Ctrl H, we want an inventory wise extract. That can also be same with the receipt note voucher. Of course, from KK Enterprises, we had gone for a receipt note voucher where we had made a record of the same. So whatever vouchers, as I've told you in the previous session, you want to view in one particular book. As I've told you, a sub day book or a sub register. Now, day book is a no the original book of entry where whatever transactions you pass, whatever vouchers you have passed, all will appear in the day book. As I've told you, accounting, it can be non-accounting, it can be inventory based, it can be anything. Daybook will have a place for all the vouchers. But if you want to specifically view only one set of vouchers from the daybook, you can go for F4. Otherwise, you can come and have a view on all the registers. Okay, all are daybooks. I can say the customers or the defined daybooks for each of the vouchers. Delivery note register, receipt note register. We have a rejection in register. Yes. Rejection out register. Then we have stock journal. We also have physical stock like this. So for each of the vouchers, we have the registers playing role. Now, if you go for the statements of inventory, we have the stock query report, movement analysis report, aging analysis report. Okay, and we have cost estimation. So if you go to stock query, and if we choose one of the items, let's say I choose Vivo mobiles. Yes. So here I can have the complete detail of the stock item. What is the cost price? What is the costing method? Costing method. This also has to be kept in mind that by default, Tally will always choose the average cost method. Even though I specifically don't choose, I can choose FIFO, LIFO. It is all left to the user. But by default, in case if any costing method is used or is adopted in the Tally software, it is average cost method. Okay. Here we have the complete detail of Vivo mobiles and the items belonging to the same category. That detail is also depicted here. The working worksheet. And then we have the movement analysis. So here we have the stock group, the stock category, the stock item analysis report. So if we go for a stock group analysis report, and if we choose one of them, let's say we choose computer. Yes, this is a stock group wise. Can you see here? who are the suppliers, who are the buyers of the stock item, all will appear here. So please have a look at it. Am I not audible to all of you? Is my voice audible? Let me know.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
It's audible.
Yes, ma'am.
My voice is not breaking yet because I see one of the message that I'm not audible. Is my voice breaking when I'm talking?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Thank you so
No,
much.
ma'am.
Thanks, ma'am. So let's continue the session. So we were talking about the reports. So here, wonderfully we can get. Now, if you choose one computers, we have Dell computers. If we have who are all the suppliers, who are all the buyers. Now, if I join as an accountant or I'm placed in the accounting position for any of the companies, which is recording its books of accounts in the Tally software, so I want to know who are all the suppliers, who are all the buyers. I can say the regular customers, the regular suppliers. I can easily come to know with this creation report. Okay. So in the same way, we also have the stock category analysis. Category wise also, we can have the report. So if you press Alt F1 with the location details, we get the stock category movement analysis. We also have the stock item movement analysis. Same thing. And group wise, now I have a big list of creditors and debtors. Yes. So if I go to the creditors here, yes, so this is what are the creditors is the group wise. Now here if I press Alt F1 or if I press Control Head Change View, I want the bill wise details. Yes, I don't want any other detail. Pending bills. Now how much has to be paid? Okay, for Sahana Enterprises, Shama Traders, Shriram Traders, Vincent Electronics, everything will come here. Yes. So this is the observation that can be made. Now we also have the aging analysis. Aging analysis in the sense is which is the oldest film. So that can also be viewed. So if I press F6, if you observe on the vertical button bar, you have the F6 option. Okay. So if I press F6, the aging, we have two types of aging entirely. One is aging by bill date. Second, we have this aging by due date. So how we want to evaluate the bills, either by bill or by due date. If you go for aging by due date, from which day to which day? Now you would have given a credit period of 15 days, 20 days. So if that credit period crosses, so that becomes the oldest bill. Yes, that is the overdue bill, pending bill. So that can also be set by the user like that. So again, if you press Control H to change view, we have got a summary. We want a monthly summary. Everything can be had over here. Yes. We also have the payment performance. Yes. I think this most of you would have done it. 4 days, 27.5 days. I think even in the financial management, right? We also have the average. Uh, we have the average collection period, average payment period, yes, which we compute when we're going for the working capital computation, right? So the same thing is available here. We have 4 days and we have 27.5 days. 4 days for Shama traders. Yes, I hope all of you know this, are aware of this. Yes, so this is how we calculate the debtors period or average collection period, however you would define. closing balance by total sales into number of days. So this is how we get, that's 4 days is the average collection period. Or if you go for the creditors, it will become average payment period. So here we are talking about the creditors, so it will be an average payment period. If I talk about the debtors, then I have average collection. So here if you can observe from KK Farms and NRT traders, this becomes my average payment collection period. Okay, so for debtors it is a collection and for creditors it is a payment. And if you go for a ledger analysis report, ledger wise also you can have an easy view. If I talk about BC traders report, I also get the party wise, ledger wise, and for which stock item. So the top, if you can observe, the stock item is as Vivo mobiles. Yes, so here if you can observe, it is showing as Vivo mobiles. Yeah, this is the most important part, that is transfer analysis report. Yes. So every voucher, before it is made a use of, we have to, for what purpose is this voucher being used? If I'm using a stock journal voucher, I am recording or I'm using this voucher for the purpose of stock transfer. Okay. If I'm using a physical stock voucher to correct the quantity of stock which is appearing in my company's books of accounts with the exact quantity that is available in the godown, actually available in the godown, to correct both, to equate both, I go for a physical stock voucher. Yes, so each and every voucher has its own usage. So here if we see the stock journal, yes, we have the production and the consumption. Also we have a stock transfer, so from where to where it has been transferred, goods in and goods out. Next we can go for the aging analysis. As I told, the oldest bill or something which can be generated. Yes, oldest stock I can say. So from we have made a couple of purchases, couple of sales for Dell computers. Okay. So all these details will appear here. Yes. Next we have the cost estimation. So how we can get the, in case if we have made this cost estimation, if we make a cost estimation, we can get this detail also. But if we have not made it, the cost estimation screen will not appear. Yeah, this I've shown you sales bill pending and purchase bills pending. Sales bill pending for Mani Enterprises and purchase bills pending from KK Enterprises. Okay. So again, if you press and enter, it gives you a complete detail of the stock movement. Next is the GST reports. This I've shown you already in the previous session. GSTR 1, 2, 3B and the waiver discussion, which holds a high importance in your complete tally software. Then yes, this also we had done the exceptional reports. Yes, we have ledgers without email ID. So if you press enter, in case you would like to update the details, very important, of any of the trade, any of the entity, any of the business person, you can give up the details here. Who is the contact person? Now, first one it is showing as Aman Enterprises. So who's the contact person for Aman Enterprises? His name. Suppose, okay, yeah. So here, if you observe, if I press enter, okay, so here it can be given name, address. So if I go to Control I, that is show more details. Here the details can be updated. Can you see here who is the contact person? Suppose if I give here as Rafiq, landline number, its mobile number, access mile if it is there, email, in case if you want to send any mail, so you have to keep CC as well. Website, or in case a required person is there, can be given. Website of the company can be given. Keep on updating. Now see if you observe, our enterprises will not exist. Why? Because I have made all the details. Now for the rest, if you want to observe, put up the details, you can, yes, like this. Memorandum register, yes, this had already viewed earlier also. Where do all the non-accounting vouchers visible? First of all, the non-accounting vouchers find a place in the exception reports. This has to be kept in mind. Now we had discussed three non-accounting vouchers. Yes, we had discussed reversing journal, we had discussed optional and memorandum vouchers. All these non-accounting vouchers find a place in a report which is the exceptional report. Okay, this is the report where we can capture only the non-accounting vouchers and not the rest. Okay, specifically if I want to view the vouchers like memo vouchers, reversing journal voucher, optional sales vouchers separately, individually, then I can check in for the registers. But these registers are also under the exception report only. So one thing has to be made sure that non-accounting vouchers find a place in the exception reports or in the exception reports. Okay. So we have all three here: memorandum, reversing journal, optional. In case we have cancelled any vouchers, suppose the last class I had taught you that we had made a cancellation. In case if I cancel any voucher from the daybook, all those cancelled vouchers will find a place. Okay, all the cancel entries will appear here. In case if I've gone for any post-dated vouchers, those vouchers also will find a place here. In case there are any ledgers which have a negative balance, yes, so here we have the CGST, SGST, some amount, and we have drawings, expenses incurred, yes, Priya's account. So if you press enter on the GST part, yes, this is how it will depict the balances. Then if case in case negative stock, as of now till now probably we had all sufficient stocks to make any sale transaction or transfer of stock, or usually would have passed a purchase voucher. Then we have overdue receivables. In case if from any of the party the bills are pending from a long time, right? From a very long time, we are yet to receive the payment from the party, then they will appear under the report of overdue receivables and overdue payables in case if I have to make payment to any of my supplier of stock. Okay. Next is analysis and verification. In case if you would like to go for data analysis, it can be done. Okay, this is actually mostly takes place when we talk about the auditing part. Okay, so that time this holds a high importance. So here at the top, if you can observe, we have the analysis period as 1st of April to 31st of March 22. Previous year period if we give, that will also be available. And of course, same as I've told, where we go for the audit purposes, where we have verification of vouchers, third party transactions, related vouchers, yes, all these will appear here. So here also we get a statistical data like each of the vouchers, how many we have used. If we go for a bank payment, we have one, contra, we have seven, then we have 17 payment vouchers. So like that, we have all the voucher. And this the verification can be. Okay, so here we go for the display more reports. Now let's go back to the balance sheet and, just make sure that what is the balance sheet assets and liabilities value. So here if we press Alt F1, yes, we get our balance sheet report much in detail. Yes. So which are all the fixed assets, the investments involved, the current assets, then we have current liabilities, capital account. We also have the profit and loss account balances. Okay, and as I've told you in the previous session itself, this difference in opening balance will always appear in two statements. One in tally especially. One, it will appear in the trial balance. Second, it will appear in the balance sheet. Apart from these two financial statements, differences in opening balance will not appear anywhere else. Okay, so that we have to keep an eye on. Next we have is profit and loss account. So what is the profit or loss we have made? Yes, so wow. So we have made a net profit of 5,81,932.2 hours. So this is the profit I have made for my company, showing a net profit. Now you can also check out whether you have made a net profit or you have incurred a net loss. Yes. So this will give you a complete profit and loss account. And most important, this is the way we also prepare the P&L account manually. Yes, all of us have done it. We start with the opening stock, then we have the purchase. On the right hand side, we have the sales, closing stock. In case if any direct incomes, expenses are there, they also find a place in the trading account. So the first half, what you see is the trading account. The second half is the profit and loss account. And most important, now here I'm viewing a horizontal view, yes, of the profit and loss account. Now, in case if I have to go for a vertical view, yes, I can go for it. And how did I go about? I have used the function key as Control H. Yes, if I go to Control H change view, I can go in for a vertical view. This is what actually is commonly used in the combo stream where we go for a vertical balance sheet, a vertical profit and loss account. Yes, so in this way also we can view the statement. Correct? So even balance sheet also. So if I go to balance sheet and here if I press Control H, I go for a vertical view. Yes. Yes, this is the way a balance sheet, a vertical balance sheet is prepared. So in the same format we have it. Yes, so next we have the stock summary. But before that, I'll just go back to the profit and loss account. In case if any valuation methods you want to change, can also be done by pressing F8. F8 is a valuation method. Again, we want to view the exception reports. If we want to view any negative ledgers, here also it will appear automatically. Now here we have the stock summary. In stock summary previously also I've shown you on how the stock summary appears. So here again if I press Alt F1, I'll get the stock summary in detail. And if I want a stock item wise report, if I press F5 as stock item wise report, each of the stock item in which location it is there, it is stored, warehoused, all that details will appear here. Okay, so please have a look at it. So like this, we can go for it. Next, if we go for the ratio, this is very, very important. All of you have done your financial management. Yes. So here we have gone for the ratio analysis. We have a chapter on that only. We have the working capital ratio. We have the average payment period, average collection period, which I've told you. We have the inventory turnover ratio, current assets to current liabilities. We have the quick ratio, debt equity ratio, gross profit, net profit, operating cost, receivables turnover, okay, receivables turnover in days, return on the investments, return on the working capital. So this is most by a financial analyst to analyze the company's financial position. Yes, so this report is very, very useful to make a comparative analysis, okay, of our company probably with the other companies in the same sector. Suppose if I belong to the service industry, if I go for catering services or hospitality services, a comparative analysis can be made with the other companies based on this report. So this report also holds a high importance, ratio analysis report. Yes, all of you would have witnessed it. So this report also is generated by the Tally software. Now, how are we getting all these reports? We have seen balance sheet, trading account, and profit and loss account. We have the ratio analysis. Each and every report we are able to get. So, if you trace back to my initial sessions, I had told you that the user's job or the user's task is only to prepare the appropriate ledgers and pass the necessary entries with the correct values. And if he does so, whatever reports or whichever reports are required by the user as business requirement, all the reports would be made available to the user by the Tally software. So I can say my burden is reduced here. Suppose in the middle of the year or probably on everyday basis, I want to see the balance sheet, I can do it. And I've told you a number of times that without quitting from the current screen. Now, as of now, I am seeing the ratio analysis report. Now, at this moment, without quitting the ratio analysis report, if I have to view the balance sheet, I want to check my position statement. Can I do so? Yes, by pressing Alt G and I have my balance sheet. So, moment I press the balance sheet and I press Alt F1, I can view the balance sheet detail instantly. So like this, Tally will give you access to all the reports, to all the statements, depending upon your business need. Yes, so we can toggle between the reports in Tally, provided you hold a firm grip on all financial statements and reports. Okay, so this is the way it happens. Just a second. Yes. So this is how we can get the. So I have discussed all the rules which appear in Tally software. Yes, balance sheet, profit and loss account, stock summary, ratio analysis report. Then we have display more reports where we have discussed everything. Now, most important, let's go to the company tab, Alt K. Yes. So here we have how to create company, alter company, but there is a concept as change company, which means whether you use the mouse to swap the companies when you have created or when you have opened more than one company is okay. But without using the mouse, only with the function keys. If you want to, swap between the companies, okay, or select the company which you to be used to pass the accounting entries, we can do so. Can you see the option here? There is an option called as change company, and the function key for the change company is F3. Okay, so what is this F3 here? Let's do a small experiment. Now, currently our company is open, which in which we have normally passed the entries. Now, apart from the company which is already open, let me select another company. And to select another company, the function key is Alt F3, right? So I will select in my list of companies and select TallyPrime 3 to 5. You can select if any other company if you have created more than one. So now my two companies are open. Now how can I know which company is active? Both the companies are open, but I need to know which company is active because that company details will be seen in the financial statements in the daybook completely. How can I know is if you can observe here, name of the company, you have the company highlighted here. Yes, so which means this is the active company here. Tally Prime 3 to 5 is the active company. Now I want to swap between from Tally Prime 3 to 5 to Tally Prime MCC. How can I do so? Only by pressing F3. So if I press F3, I can swap the company from Tally Prime 3 to 5 to Tally Prime MCC. Yes. So this is how we can swap the companies. Of course, you can use mouse and you can select it, not an issue. But thing is, it is always preferable to know the keyboard language for Tally. This Tally is nothing but, a keyboard software. So whatever vouchers you have to pass, reports you have to see, it's all in the keyboard. You have the function keys, shortcut keys. Tally software is easily accessible. Yeah. So like this, if you press F3, we can change the company. So I'll go back to the Alt K. All these things we have learned: how to select the company, how to shut the company. In case we have the net connectivity, in case we want the net connection and we are going for any kind of online based voucher, so cannot connect in education mode if you can observe. Activate the license and try again. That's what I told you. If I'm a licensed user, I have a licensed version of TallyPrime software, I can also go for the online connectivity. Okay. And of course, we have remote access. We have also have the browser access. So in case if you're a remote user, that can also be selected. Next, we have the features, company features F11. So which is the function key for company features? It is F11. So if you press F11, we get the list of companies. Both the two companies are open. So if I press enter, the required company features will be activated. Now here also, if you check, as I've discussed already, we have the accounting features, we have inventory features, we have a taxation, online access, payroll, others. So whatever features are required as per the business requirement, same can be selected. In case you want additional updations, we have to update the GST details. We can press Control I. Okay. Yes. So here, whatever details we want to be updated, everything will be updated. Okay. Next, of course, regarding the tally word password has been taught to you. Same thing. If I want to give a control user access for the company, I can give it up. Again, I can give the administrative username and the password as well as the email. So, and if any tally or features have to be activated, yes. So all this, features we can also activate to raise the security level of our company details in addition to the tally wall password. Next, if we press Alt Y, most important, we have the option of backup and restore of data. Yes. Now I want to migrate, I want to transfer the data from the current Tally software, okay, to another Tally software or to another system, I can say. So what I can do is I can take a backup of the files and I can restore them in another system. So how can we go for the backup of the files? When we're going for backup, let's close the companies. We have Control F3 where we can shut the company. Yes. Now I can go for Alt Y and I can go for the backup. Select backup. Now you can observe that it is showing as C drive over there. I've told you in the beginning that C is the drive, C is the path where all the data is stored in the Tally software. In case you want to change it to any other folder, it can be done, or to any other path, it can be done. So here you have select from drive and specify the path. In case you want to specify the file path also, can be done. So as if we are taking C drive. Since all my companies created are currently appearing in the C drive, let's assume that a backup has to be taken of TallyPrime 3 to 5 in my company. I will select the company. Once I select the company, I press enter. Okay. Now, so I'll take only 3 to 5. Once I select the company, I want to end. I just want to take one company backup. Once I select, I can choose end of list and accept. So the backup is done. Now here I can't restore it back because here already my company is existing. But in case if you want to migrate, okay, from this Tally software to another Tally software or to another system, this procedure I've taught you is the same. What you can do to restore is you can press again Alt 5 and you can go for the restore option. Yes. So here again it will come to the C drive if you see there, restore destination path. Okay, now suppose if I want to restart, choose desktop also. Perhaps it will not take mine because I'm restoring again the same case, so it may not hold it. Yes. So I can, if you can observe here, it will also give the time where we have taken the backup and the date also. On the right hand side, if you observe Tally Prime 3 to 5, 15 September, it is today, at 5:29 p.m. I've taken the backup. So if I select the file and go to end of list, I accept it. Okay, again it is a restore. So can you observe again the file is moved back. So like this, we can take a backup and restore. This is very important if you want to migrate the data from one Tally software to another Tally software. Got it? Suppose in case you're using your pen drives, or I can say the USB, so that part can be given here. Especially when you're taking, let's say you're taking a backup in your pen drive, all the company data. Okay, that time in the backup path, this destination path, you have to give the USB details here where you would like to take the backup, and then again restore also we have to put up the same details. So where you want to files to appear, you can put up with the backup and restore. Okay, and then we have the split company. Split company actually, of course, suppose if in case, like in the middle of the year, there's a sudden acquisition of the company. I think most of you would be evident for that. Like this company has been acquired, or amalgamated, or merged. So that time in one financial year. Now our financial year is 1st of April to 31st of March. So up to from 1st of April to 30th June, it was the old company. That is the old company details we had the tally software. From 1st of July, it was the company name was changed, or the company organizational structure was changed. Then the financial statements are new, okay, because of the acquisition, a merger, or an absorption, whatever it is. So that time we can split the data. That is from 1st of April to 30th June is one, that is which comprises the old details, and from 1st of July to 31st of March. So what happens is whatever the data is appearing for the entire year, it will split up into two periods. Okay, that can also be made. But before splitting the data, it is our duty to verify the data. Okay, so it has to come as no errors found. Okay, and then we can go for split, but here I'm not going for any splitting of data because I have a lot to communicate to you all. So I will not go for a split. Yeah, this is how it comes. I can show you. Yes, so company name TallyPrime 3 to 5, it has to split. So split from 1st of September. In case you want to change the period, you are most welcome for it. So if you can observe the brackets, they are given as this will be set as the financial year beginning date for the new company. Yes. So you can select a date between 2nd April and 1st of April. We can recommend a date is 1st of September. Like this, you can go for a split. Okay, if you observe at the bottom, name of the first company and name of the second company you have from first company, which is a period from 1st of April to 31st of August. Second company is from 1st of September to 31st of March. Like this, we can go for the company split. And very, very important for all of us to know is the data part. Yes. Where are all the files stored? I'm making a repetition again. It is C drive, the C data path. Here only the files are being stored in the Tally software. Please capture this information. The C drive. Okay. So again we go to Alt Z in the horizontal button bar. We have send it for e-way bill. So in case if you want to send any information through an e-way bill, it can be done. As I've told you, once the e-way bill is generated, that detail can be put up here, like date, particulars, the GST number of the dealer, what voucher type, is it a sale, purchase, voucher number, and the total invoice amount. So if you go for sendings, if as I told, if you have linked our Tally software, the license version with the GST portal, we can send it from here as well. Yes. Okay, or offline export is there. This can also be done in case if you want to go for an offline export, that can also be selected. Okay, of course synchronization is rarely appearing because synchronization is where the client data gets synchronized, where we have two users. So that synchronization can happen if it is required. Yes. So here you have the TallyPrime acts as the client data or the server. So that can be chosen. Enable ODBC, Open Database Connectivity. It's already been yes. And what is the code? It is 9000. So whatever the configuration you want to make, you can make for the synchronization if it is required. Next, of course, we have Alt G. Alt G, yes, n number of times I have shown you. Balance sheet we have profit and so instead of viewing from the gateway of tally which we have discussed so far, we can also view the Alt G, currently balance sheet, P&L account, day book, ledger, voucher, stocks, and whatever we have discussed so far. Now there is a wonderful statement that is masters and vouchers statistics. Okay, others we have all covered. What is this masters and vouchers statistics? If you go to the Alt G report is how many vouchers we have used for each one. Now we have here, it is showing we have used 7 contra vouchers, 1 credit note, debit note, 6 payment vouchers, 6 purchase vouchers, 5 receipt vouchers, 3 sales vouchers. Yes, so it will give you a complete statistical analysis of the vouchers that has been used by us for passing the entries in the Tally software. Again, if we come to the right hand side, we have the information that how many groups we have created, ledgers. Of course, here I'm going for I think 3 to 5. I can give this. We will log into our company. So here, if we go to Alt G, yeah, so here, yes, so we also cancelled one voucher in the previous session. So we can observe, detail will also appear here. Right? Now, if you go on the right hand side, we have how many groups. So we had created a group recently, yes, and rice traders, big bazaar. And then how many ledgers we have created so far? We have created 73 ledgers as of now in the Tally software. In your cases, it will be more or less than what has been depicted here. Next, we have this cost category, then cost centers. I have created how many cost categories, cost centers under each of the cost categories, how many stock groups, how many categories stock items, how many locations, how many voucher types. So all these numbers play a significant role. I think I've shown you in the beforehand because how many voucher types are here. We have 24 predefined voucher types. Now, why it is appearing as 25 here? Because they've also created one bank payment voucher. So it is 24 predefined voucher types. Then we have units, how many we have created, dozens, grams, kgs, liters, milliliters, numbers, pieces, packets. Then currencies, of course, here we have rupee. We had created currencies, we had created for euros, pounds, dollars, yes, I've also gone for the deletion, henceforth it is not appearing. In case if you have not deleted, probably in your list of currency, definitely it will appear. Okay, so this is a complete statistical analysis of the data. So you can have a view of it. How it clearly gives you all the information. Yes. So here, this is how you get the report. So if you go to Alt G where we have the masters and the vouchers, statistics. Then we also have the final accounts report. Only final accounts if you want balance sheet, profit and loss account, trial balance, receipts and payment statement, it is instantly available. Yes, so then we have receivables and payments I've shown you n number of times. We have banking utilities. If you want to go for a bank reconciliation, any deposit slips. This is okay. So here we can go. And ledger-wise reports if you want. Ledger vouchers, ledger-based vouchers. So for which ledger, what is the voucher which has been passed? All will appear here in the ledger reports. Bills made but goods not delivered, payroll statement, payment advices, goods delivered but bills not sent. So which is a particular person that can be. Like this we have everything. We have registers. Again, this not we have seen. Sales register, purchase register, and all that. Next we have the cost center report, item reports. I think GS reports we have seen everything. Then we have the data analysis report, verification of chart of accounts. We have verification of the stock items, verification of balances, any kind of cash withdrawals or deposits for each of the banks. This is how we can view it. Okay. Next, if we go for the verification reports, for same as I've told you, voter verification where in case if you're going for the audit purposes or there has to be a cross verification can be done. So expand all if you go in detail in the final accounts report, still you want a detailed breakup, it will appear if you go to expand all. Can you see here? It was appearing in brief. So here only you get a complete analysis. Let's go back to that Alt G. And here if we have show more, show again inactive, some reports will not be seen directly. So those reports also can be viewed, which will not be evident that time, but now of course you can view. For example, we have ledger payment, we have group outstandings, ledger outstandings. We can also select this. Like this, we can view our required. So alt is a wonderful option I can say because it will not allow the user to exit from the current screen. You know, he is in the midst of passing any important voucher, any important entry. So instead of quitting the current entry, then again coming back to the gateway of Tally screen and from there to access the entries, instead we can easily venture into the reports by pressing Alt G, that is go to option. So go to option, holds a very important place in the Tally software. Okay. So after the Alt G, that is go to option, we go to Alt O. So in if you want to import any masters, we can import the masters like accounting masters, inventory masters. So file path, of course, currently we are going for the C drive. Yes, this is the drive. So to which you have to import the folder, the path have to be chosen here. Okay. So show more we have. So in case I want to specify the path here, I can do it. So I'll go for downloads. So like this I can. So which file I want to import? That file can appear here. Okay, like this. If I want to import any transactions and to which is the file to import, where it is available. like this. I can go for the import. Now if I go for the export, that is Alt E, the export option. If I have to export any masters, any transactions, shall we do it? Now masters, if I want to export the ledgers, I can do so. I can press C, configure option. I can go to show mode. So if I have to want to export ledgers, yes. If I want to make any changes, and most important, you have to know this, which are all the formats, the file formats to which we can export the data from the Tally software. If we press enter on the file format, you get two, that is ASCII and XML. Normally XML is used, and if we use the navigation keys and move, yeah, downwards, export to the local drive, what is the file name? Yes. So if you go to Control A, you can also go for the export of data. Okay. Now, in case specifically, yes, can you observe here? Here, of course, we have. So in case here, specifically, of course, directly it will not open with the path it will open. So I'm just showing you how it is being exported in the drive, the C drive, if you can observe it. Now, suppose, let's say I want to go to I'm going to the daybook, okay, and I am getting all the entries by pressing spacebar, enter, spacebar, enter to clear off the period. And this data I want to export. So if I press Alt E, can you see? It will come as current. Current means Tally is asking whether you would like to export the table. I say yes. So I select current option. If I want to make any sort of configurations, I can do. So I'll press C, configure options. Show narrations. If I press enter, it will be as yes. Again, I step down. Format of report. If I press enter, I want a detailed report. Show bill-wise details, yes. Inventory details, yes. Mode of payment, yes. Then show costs and details, yes. Then all vouchers, yes. Specifically, if I want, I can also give the list. I want only accounting entries or inventory entries. That can also be done. Display name for the ledger's name only, or for any other details also done. Again, you have the file format here. So if you press enter, yes, this is extremely important for you to know that which is the file format which has been supported by the Tally software. Very, very important. We have 6 file formats, that is ASCII, we have Excel, we have HTML, we have JPEG, we have PDF, we have XML. Now I want to convert, in the sense I want to export the data which is contained in the daybook in a PDF format. Can I do so? Yes. I can select the PDF format and I'll press enter. Okay, and once I'm done with all the configurations, I just press Ctrl A and press as send. If I press as send, yes. Can you observe here? You get the PDF data based off of the daybook. Yes, the complete data is available in the PDF format, which is non-editable format. Second, so here. Can you observe? Yes. So this is how I can get my company's details. Yes. In case if I want to save also, I can go a save as copy or save as text, and I can mail it. Whatever can be done can be done with this. So can you see? So again, I would like to show with any of the entries. Probably we can go for the profit and loss account. So I can show you again how we can export the data. We have the profit and loss account. Now let's say you want to have the vertical horizontal view. Yes, and here I'll press Alt F1. where we are getting a detailed view of the profit and loss account. And from here, we will press Alt E export, select current, C for configure, and whatever configurations you want to make, you can do it. If you want PDF, suppose I want in Excel, okay? I press enter on this and I move on from the PDF to the Excel spreadsheet. I press Ctrl A and go to save. We can also view the profit and loss account statement in the Excel format. Can you see? It gives a complete view of the Excel. Yes, so I hope all of you are able to get this. So please make sure to have a record that whatever data, the file format, what is supported by Tally software, we do have 6 formats. That's Excel, ASCII, HTML, JPEG, PDF, and XML formats. Okay. So you can export any statement, any report from the Tally software. Suppose if I'm using a licensed version, fine, where I have the net connectivity and I'm having the licensed net, that time I can also send emails. So to send an email, okay, I can press Alt M, which you see in the vertical horizontal button bar. We have the email option, Alt M. So if you press current, I can mail this profit and loss information from my mail to, it can be my, another employee's mail, my boss's mail ID. So anyone, anything it can be done. So I have to create here. I have not created email, but in case if we create email also here, we will not be able to send because we're using the trial version of Tally software. In case if I'm a licensed user, I can also send the email. Can you observe here? We have the profit and loss account here as a subject. So that's Alt S to get to it a predefined message template. And this is how it comes. What is the name of the message? What is message to be sent? Next, I think Alt P is very much evident for all of you. Yes. So we can select current option. So again, if you want a vertical profit and loss account, you can give it as yes by going to configure a detailed report and what is the paper size, print area. Everything can be given. So you just go for the preview option. Yes. And here to zoom, we have to press Alt Z. Alt Z is meant to zoom. Zoom in your report. Yes, this is how we can. Yes, if you have the printer attached to your system, right? So you can easily take a print of any financial statement. It can be profit and loss account, balance sheet, cash flow statements, fund flow statement, day book, any report, any statement, you can take a printout of the same. And the key for it is P. Okay? Alt P, and to zoom it is Alt Z. So please keep these things in mind. You have Alt K, Alt Y, Alt Z for the exchange, Alt G, that is go to option, Alt O, it's import, Alt E for export, Alt M for the email, Alt P is for print, and F1 for help. Now if you go for Alt P, we also have the configuration and others. Others means if you want to take a print of any other, you can go for it. You have also the payroll statements in case if you want any other report, you can go for it. Okay. Otherwise, if you go to Alt P, you also have the configuration details. Yeah. So which printer is set as a default printer for your Tally printouts? What is the header information? Everything you can go and configure. Yes. Can you see? Show phone number of the company, website, CIN number. Use grayscale for printers with black and white output. Retrieve paper size for non-standard printers. Bitmap print. Everything. Nothing. What is a paper printer? Then we have the paper size, paper type. Yes. Everything will appear. Of course, we also have the F1 help option, which I had shown you in the initial classes talking about the product information. So we have Tally help option. Now instantly, suppose I am having the net connectivity, I want to seek answer for any of the question or doubt which I'm having. I can immediately go to F1 help option, and there if I press Control F1, I can go to Tally help. It will easily connect me to the Tally website. So it will just take a few seconds. Can you see here? It will go to the Tally website. So currently I was in the profit and loss statement. It will take me to the same view. Can you see here? Yes. So in addition, you want much details, much information also, you can go for the Alt F1. Got it? So this is how it will take you in case you have the net connectivity present. Okay. Of course, what's new means, of course, in case we have, if you want any add-on features, anything that can also be made available. Suppose you want to make any upgradation or you want to know what is the next release. Can you see here? Current release is release 2. So what is the connected experience for the web reports, how to save you, online validation for GST and HSL, tally reports in browsers. You get the complete information for this. Yes, so this is how you can go for it. So Tally Help is a wonderful way where we can go for any kind of doubts, queries, clarification. Yes, here we have the upgradation. As of now, we have installed TallyPrime Release 2, right? So it will give you the latest release options. In case of any upgradations are there, you're using a licensed software, it will appear. In case you want any add-on features based on your business requirement, you can also purchase this online. Yes, payments can be made in case if you're a licensed user. Yes, you can add to your cart and you can also upgrade these features. The price is also available if you observe here. Yeah. So what feature you want in your Tally software, everything is available here in the Tally shop. So it's an online, purchase of the features what you make. So we'll discuss about the others, that is troubleshooting, settings, TDS, add-ons, and about in the next session. So in today's class, we have completed almost with the horizontal button bar and the vertical button bar and with all the reports almost. So please make sure you have a practice and a grip of whatever you have learned so far in the Tally softwares. Okay. So I hope this session was very useful for you, where you could get the exposure of so many reports, statements, and how to take a print, how to export the data, send an email, and all these information. So make sure you too also do it and see how it works. So we'll meet up in the next session. Until then, keep up your practice. Thank you.